Hello, y'all. Welcome back to another session of Something of Substance podcast. I have a very special guest with us today, Mama Panda. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you do.
Hi guys, my name is Mama Panda and I'm here to make your mask move. I'm a Fun Magic instructor.
Hmm.
I'm also an esthetician. I dabble in the spiritual practices as far as the beauty realm goes. That's what I do majority of the time.
So today we have two main topics, and we will be jumping around a bit, so don't be on our ass. But the main topics we have are classical elements. But Panda has enlightened me to the fact that she works with the periodic table in terms of manifesting, and we also have like dimensions. So I wanted to talk about five dimension and beyond. And when you say manifest, like what do you mean by manifesting? Like what is your definition of this?
And see, I normally don't use the word manifest. I think people think that it's just using the tool of speaking and then anchoring whatever you're speaking into the physical realm, which I'm not saying is wrong, but you have different tools and tactics to manifestation that's not subjected to just your voice or to
I
speaking
agree.
it. Like you can utilize all five senses and still anchor in or manifest through those outlets. So I don't really use manifest in that format because people are only thinking like verbally, and I'm not talking about
Hmm.
just verbally. But yeah, manifesting is there's a vast tools and ways that you can anchor in what you're so seeking from not just the physical world, but things that are not tethered to this world. So manifestation is like a very broad word in my opinion. It's a very broad word in general, and there's many ways to identify what manifestation is on a collective scale, on an individualistic scale, and also within a subgroup, because we all have our different understandings and ways that we break down that terminology, and then also how that presents as far as what modalities are you using to manifest, because it's not just your mouth, it's not just your ears, it's not just your eyes, it's not
It's
just your,
everything.
it's everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I think manifestations are.
So what would be a more like I guess aligned term to use instead of manifesting? Like how would you say it in your words?
mm, if I had to give one word or an object that describes what I'm talking about, it's a compass. I think a compass is a better way of describing or
Yeah.
giving identification to what you're doing actively with the vessel, but then also to your immediate or even surroundings that aren't in your immediate surrounding. Like your auric field, your toroidal field, so on and so forth. Like I think compass is a way of identifying what people think manifestation is because you're utilizing the elements, you're utilizing direction, you're utilizing pathways of the brain or
Hmm.
just visualizations of like how pathways can sprout as far as gateways, portals, what people identify as that. So I think compass is more of a term that I would identify as manifesting. That I mean it's not a direct, most people be like, well, how did you get compass? But you got to think like a lot of things that we do equate to a compass because you're directing yourself, you're recalibrating yourself, you're finding yourself going from one pathway to another. It's just that's how I see it.
Hold on. You just went off. You said a lot, but everything you said makes sense. At least to me, it makes sense. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna start using the compass instead of manifest because when I say manifest, it does mean that like if I have a vision, a dream, whatever, and I'm anchoring it into this reality, it could be a car, which I manifested a car this year, which was great because I went like 2 years without a car. If you know anything about St. Louis, public transportation is ass. Like you need a car to get around this place. So like
All right.
I mean anchoring in sometimes instantaneous, and I think we do have to be careful with manifesting because it does encompass everything. So like powerful manifestors, you can think something and it materializes right in front of you, or you might have a dream and then it happens the next day. And it could be you're seeing the future, but it's also because of how powerful your magnetic field is, you are pulling that reality closer to you. So that timeline is not active as like a sequence. If this is
Mm-hmm.
you and this is that, and the space in between is like this, and now it's like this when you are magnetizing it. And I like what you said about the compass because a lot of occultism, like say Enochian magic or different, like the lesser banishing ritual, it does use north, east, west, and south to channel in different energies. And yeah, I really like your explanation. I will be using compass more I feel like in my work instead of
Yeah. Yeah, that
manifesting.
was one of the base foundations in glamour magic. You have to utilize the compass in order to break down components of like what people deem manifestation. It's not
Yeah,
really manifestation. I mean, it's just the utilization of the vessel in general. Because
yeah,
everything that you're comprised of equates to a direction, north, south, east, west, an element, elements like the actual periodic table, and so on and
yes.
so forth. It's like it's levels and there's tiers to different systems that you can kind of compact into the idea of what a compass is. Because it's like your brain. A compass is like your brain. It's different neural networking. It's different pathways. Just like what people think timelines are. You know, there's going to be a multitude of timelines, multitude of realities, multitude of rooms that you can be a part of. And I think that's what the compass does a really good job at breaking down. It's not linear either. To just
Okay.
clarify, it's never really linear. It's not like I'm going straight forward and there's just a straight path. Like I see, it's never really like that. If you seen like different variants or variations of how like people talk about new earth, like all the earths that you can envision are always there. It's just, are you wiring yourself or are you calibrating yourself, like are you getting the coordinates to be in that direct position? it's like it's like there was an example. I think there was like a YouTube video or some teacher I was watching not too long ago. This was probably a while back, and it's like everything already exists and or has been created, because if we go off the notion that everything can't be created or destroyed, it already has been there.
True.
So the compass is wiring you to get to the exact coordinates of what you're seeking, to calibrate yourself to be able to visually see or to be in a state of that awareness to where that thing exists. So all the only thing the
Mm,
compass is doing is wiring you. You're just, it's neural networking. It's wiring yourself to activating that awareness that is there, activating the ability to see and visualize and conceptualize it in the actual physical reality. There's just many layers to it. It just depends on what you see about the compass. Everybody's compass is different. Nobody's compass is the same.
do you know anything about the Philosopher's Stone?
I do. Um,
Cause
I'm not
it,
gonna lie. Yeah, Philosopher's Stone, but I
yeah.
actually prefer talking about the Infinity Stones.
Okay,
I
okay.
prefer
I'll
talking about.
bite. I'll bite. I'm curious. How do you? Cause your compass sounds like a Philosopher's Stone. Like you, and it's okay. Joseph said he knows neither. It's okay. To me, the Philosopher's Stone is like a tool that is like your personal tool. It's like your personal magic. That may be a bastardized or simple explanation, but the way you were describing the compass. So there's also something called a quantum state tensor vector field. Put it in chat GBT, guys. Quantum state tensor vector field. Basically, it's like if you think of every action you take, every choice you make, every decision you've made from past to present and in the future, it's like variable. So like it starts at zero, which being nothing, and then it goes up to like two or three. And every time you make a choice or decision, it's like it's inputting data. So if I decide to click this mouse right now, that's like a one on the scale, and that will eventually like change things around me. So if I decide not to touch the mouse, maybe I wouldn't have bumped into this microphone, and maybe that would prevent me from knocking over this lamp. Like it just has different things, right?
Mm.
So every time we make a decision, we collapse into that energy. And there's a thing about holding the energy instead of collapsing it. Like, say you're in a situation with someone, you're arguing, and instead of going back with them, you just hold it. And instead of getting in that energy, you freeze it. So instead of collapsing in them in that moment, you can hold that, and that has more power. Like when they say don't react, that has more
Mhm.
power than going back and forth. I don't know if I'm making sense,
No, you are.
but the Philosopher's Stone, I would see that as one of those tools where it's like you have ah, I'm freezing.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, but the Philosopher's Stone is it's just like a tool. It's like it's like one of those magical tools. Like when you were describing the compass, I'm like, this sounds like your stone. Like you've made this into your tool. Like this is your magic staff. This is your like yeah.
Think about it like this. It's like Sims.
Hmm.
Those little green crystals on top of everybody's head, that's a
Hmm.
compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think of it as. Everybody has one. Some people forget that they have one though. Like it's always gonna be there. It never like disappears or anything. people just lose sense of navigation because there's external stimulus that they're hyper focused on,
Mhm.
or there's never really a dead end. Not really a dead end. There's no such thing as it not existing or it disappearing. It's always there. You just have to tune yourself into finding what direction your compass is pointing you to. It's like always those games that I reference. Like it's like playing like Skyrim. I'll just use
Mhm.
Skyrim as an example. Throughout the game, you're gonna have checkpoints before you get to like the immediate canon like destination. Because there's always gonna be a canon event. You know how people say canon event. You're
Mhm.
gonna get to one checkpoint, to another checkpoint, to another checkpoint, and then a canon event. Within those checkpoints, your system or your compass is gonna calibrate itself to north. And it's like, okay, well, I know I'm going north, but like, where is that leading me? Like, what places am I gonna stop by? What faces am I gonna see? What people am I gonna meet? What conversations am I going to have? Like, it's never really specified, but you know you should be going north. Up until once you go to that checkpoint, to the other checkpoint, to the other checkpoint, once you get to the destination, you have a canon event. And I think
Mhm.
that's how I like to explain um, what I think the compass is. It sounds super simplistic, but when you apply the idea or the notion of timelines, timeline jumping or quantum jumping,
Mhm.
that kind of adds a little bit more layers of complexity. I recommend watching Loki, the last movie with the TVA, because that's like the best example of what I'm talking about, as far as timelines go. So yeah, that's what I think of it as.
Something I don't hear people talk about with timelines is that I guess you could say like the multiversal self. If that I don't know if that's a term, but like the multiverse.
Hmm.
So um I guess depending how powerful or how awaken your conscious is, I would say there's less versions of you out there. But just like an average person, like who isn't into occultism, isn't into alchemy, doesn't know anything about this stuff, like there may be like a million different versions of them scattered throughout the multiverse. And one thing is those timelines influence the timeline here. So one thing I don't see people talk about is you can ask for help from your other selves. Like you can also consequently steal from them, but that has consequences. But you can borrow or take things from other timelines or other versions of yourself. And I've had dreams about it, like where there's even been times where like I'm wide awake
Hmm.
and it's like I'm seeing something through my left eye, like I'm seeing this reality in my left eye, but in my right eye, I'm seeing like somewhere completely different, like another world. And I've seen like other versions of myself. I'm like, okay, like this version of me is super rich, and I want to bring that into this timeline. So I'll say like, hey, like I'll give you this, you give me this, and it's all good. Like I don't know if I sound like a crazy person, but that's something I never see. I see people talking about timeline jumping, but I never see people like say like, hey, like you can make contracts or like ask for help from other multiversal selves and timelines. Like you can literally like petition them or just like call and be like, yo, like I need help. Like send me some money, send me the energy so I can see to hear, like come through.
People make it seem like such a like a. I don't want to like sound too harsh when I say this. Like, it's not as hyper spiritual as people think it is. Like,
Hmm.
if you think of like databases or computers, the very thing that computers do is the very thing that we actually do, but it's comprised of framework. Like, think about it like this. You know how like people see like shadows or phantoms?
Yeah, shades. Yeah.
Say this goes back to the compass, ironically. Think of yourself as the 0 point in the middle, which
Hmm.
comprise of time. You could go left, you can go right, you can go up, you could go down. If you were to go up, the version of you that was still in that position, that default position, is technically the phantom or the shadow. You've already been animated, or that functionality or you moving has already been animated. So that was
Right.
already a probability of you being in that position, this new position of
Hmm.
you walking forward. Now, because of this phantom, even though you're not aware of it, this phantom had multiple options and yet it chose that route. So it's like you're shedding your old you, the old you, while simultaneously creating a new you in the same instance. So it's like if you ever get a chance, think of like the mouse on the computer, how like it goes, it moves, and it
Yeah,
just that's kind of like how I view it. It's complex, but that's
that's
how I
dope.
view it. So
I
yeah,
guess. Sorry, go on.
oh no, no, you're good, you're good.
I guess like that's what people are. talking about when they say watchers, and I don't just mean like those YouTube readers or like the spiritual gurus on Instagram that are like you have what are they called? Like they're like you're being
Monitoring
briefed. Like,
spirits.
yeah. Like I don't mean monitoring spirit, but
No, I
they're
laughed at it. I'm sorry.
they're
I'm
cursing
guilty.
themselves. They are cursing themselves. Is all I'm gonna say.
I don't think of them as monitoring spirits. I think of it like this, right? Think about the example I gave with the compass, with the phantom version of yourself, because the phantom
Hmm.
version of you would consider dead or non-functioning because that aspect, well, that choice that you made has already been made. You can't
Yeah.
go back, so that's like a dead route. Like
Hmm.
it's shedding that old possibility. But that's loaded within itself because even within that aspect that's a phantom, it still has a choice, but you can't perceive that choice because that's no longer in your view. It's like how people say like we're on Earth so we can view the stars and this like Venus, Mars, like we can view those planets, but like if we think about like the planets that are not in our immediate view, who's to say like in 1,000 years or 2,000 years we'll be able to see them? You know how like
Yeah.
people talk about how viewing other planet. Anyways, that's just the planetary aspect.
No, I
Um,
get you. I get you.
but like when it comes to like the viewing your framework, I think it's super multi-layered. I don't even know how to break down its complexity without bringing up like not just quantum entanglement or with monitoring spirits. The best example that I can give you is think about it like on YouTube, right?
Hmm.
You make a video, you post your video is technically like your life story. Imagine if you could upload your life story onto YouTube, and that's just like the YouTube is the Akashic records, and you upload your story to the Akashic records, which is your
Yeah.
lifetime story, like who you are. You
Hmm.
don't know who's watching the video because every single person who's going to watch your video isn't going to comment. They're not going to always like. They're not going to always share. They're not going to
It doesn't show
always
you either. It doesn't
repost.
show you specifically like Joe Schmo is watching my video. Like it'll show
It
you
won't.
like the reason, but it won't give you like the exact like yeah.
Exactly. So someone's viewing you, someone's watching with us, watching your story, but they're not directly interacting with you, or at least you think they aren't.
Hmm.
Because people, you never know if they've embedded your story into their brain and now they're somewhat part of your story within their mind. You never really know how it really works. But I think monitoring spirits are simply like observers or watchers of your story that's actively happening, or that they're it's not necessarily simultaneous. Because within the first minute somebody could be watching, and after the first minute they're like, yeah, I'm not really into this story. Or somebody could watch it all the way through and know your story through and through, or at least they
Yeah.
think they know your story through and through. So I think about it like that, about monitoring spirits. I don't think they're monitoring spirits. I think people are just simply viewing your story or viewing aspects of your story that you have the potential to confirm or deny if you want to enter. It's like those games where like they give you like entry access, or like before you even enter the game or the server of like playing the actual game, they'll be
The
like, "Do you want to
demo.
enter?"
Yeah.
Yeah, "Do you want to enter?" And it's like, "Yes, no."
Then it's like a
You
loading screen
mhm.
before yeah, before the next part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And sometimes they
See,
send you to a lobby, or sometimes you get submerged into the game immediately. Just depends.
so like there are monitoring spirits, but I think I agree with you, like watchers, and it's not necessarily people hating on you or not showing love because they're just monitoring you, but they are people. It could even be spirit sprite shades that are not yet a part of your myth, but they're watching. They may be on another planet even, and they're watching you how we watch stars in the sky. They're watching, they're like, I don't know what this is yet. I'm not sure if I want to embody this or make this a part of my story, but it could be, I would say, like allies or flame bearers, people that will in the future be a part of your story, but they're just not yet anchored into your reality. So
Mm.
I think people should be careful with the whole monitoring thing. There are flying monkey spirits. There are flying monkey spirits and monitors, but I think those are a lot less common than what the general consensus has made it. When I say monitoring spirit, I mean like literally someone or something that is collecting information on you. Now, there is a thing people have, and I guess it's a modern thing where like um I'm not gonna block them because I want them to watch me be successful. And I'm like, I get it, but like, why do you want people that you know hate you like watching your page? That's just like evil eye. Like that is the evil eye. Like you're bringing that on yourself.
But as crazy as it sounds, I mean, they're watching you and you're watching them. They're extracting information from you. You're extracting information from them. That's how wars get started, in my opinion. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think of it as a negative thing per se, but do you really want that? Probably not. Not the way that most people think they want that. Because it comes with different levels or octaves of tampering with not necessarily just your spirit, but just overall your functionality. Because you start
yeah,
to stunt your ability to. I think this goes more into like character framework, but then also how that pertains to like your chakras and like your overall system. So that's like a whole nother probably conversation. Um,
we can do a part two whenever.
parts.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
we're we're
But
we're at 20 minutes already.
oh, I don't even feel like 20 minutes.
About to be
Um,
21. Yep,
Wait, how can you see that? I can't see that.
it's in the settings for the
Oh, 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 oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'll make you do
Got
this
you.
next time. Yeah, I got you.
Got you. But yeah, I mean, I think there's many explanations to it, but I wouldn't blatantly say monitoring spirits. I kind of chuckle at it because when that term became very popular, everybody said they had monitoring spirits, and I'm like, at
Y'all
least come up with your
manifested
own.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, at least come up with your own conceptualization. I'm not saying that that doesn't exist, but probably not the way that you're translating it.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Like to even be like not that these people not that everyone is a nobody, but like to even have a mantra in spirit, you really have to be like popping your shit. Like even if you just work a 9 to 5, you're not really working on your dreams. Like you would still have to be like embodying some type of energy where people want to get information out of you. And it's usually things that like it could be something relating to your bloodline. It could be like your gifts and abilities, something that's like not just common. Because like no one cares that you wake up at 9 a.m. You walk your dogs and you go to work. Like no one's spying on that shit. If we're being completely honest, like
yeah.
um yeah,
I think it can happen, but I think normally the first immediate thought is, well, you got to be very famous, you got to be very well known, you have to
very
be in the
powerful.
public eye. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that. There's different reasons why I think there would be a fixation or a focus on you as an individual, or why someone would want to, or entity or spirit or whatever existence would want to monitor you. It's not always about how widely known you are, because even with widely known individuals, I'm sure it's debatable. I don't think it's a one size shoe fits all a situation. So definitely genetics, definitely consumption of information. Because once you open the doors to certain information, you kind of become more susceptible
Hmm.
to those
We
energies
talked
or
about that.
entities. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
kind of you can actively open gateways now. Like you don't have to be well known or really big, depending on what information is handed to you, depending on what you consume, like literally, but also symbolically. Like you can open those doors like directly to you. So I think it's debatable. I think it's
I
very
see it
debatable.
like Neo from the Matrix. It's like in my experience, like every time I like have my awakening or like when like my energy just like goes into that like sorry, I'm stuttering. When I'm in my like God conscious or what you would say Christ conscious, when I'm like awakened,
Hmm.
I feel like that's when I start getting watched. When like people are just like staring at me on the street, it's like all eyes are on me. It's like when Neo woke up in the Matrix and then they sent Agent Smith after his ass.
Sound
And
about right.
so someone requested that we steer the conversation towards AI. We can, but this specific podcast was not about that, but we can. We can.
Oh, what was the question?
Can you see it on the screen? You can't see it, can you?
Oh, now I see the messages. Ah, that's what it is.
Hmm.
Random question, random request. But can't conflict.
I
Okay,
feel like
yeah,
you
yeah.
have more to say about AI than I I support AI. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
don't.
See,
I
I
mean,
support it.
I support AI in context. I don't think it should be accessible to the general public the way that it is now.
It's dangerous because we are feeding this algorithm, and it like the first AI. There's been a death with a robot
Wait, let
now.
me see if you can hear me without. I'm gonna take because my phone is on 1%. Hold on, let me.
Why is your phone always low?
I have no clue. I use my phone a lot. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm also echoing in the background. Technical difficulties.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, is it like a bad echo? Like, am I the one who's causing? Definitely one causing the echo.
It's it's not terrible.
Not terrible.
How's it sound,
Only.
Joseph and Jove? Is it bad?
Hmm.
I was asking the audience, is it echo bad? It stopped.
I'm gonna just let my phone charge for a little second so I can at least get some juice, and I'm putting my headphones back in. Um, I agree. Oh, it's not that bad. Okay.
Okay.
But no, my personalized views with AI, I don't think it should be accessible to the general public. But who am I? I'm one person. It's already done. I'm sure that the access is going to be open for however long until there's a new innovative piece of technology that is more intense than just accessible AI that you can just type in on a website. I think modifications with AI and the introduction of AI through the internet and social media has really warped people's realities and entangled them into spaces that aren't even real. I think you can trap people into digital devices. I'm not trying to scare anybody or be
You
funny, but
definitely can.
you can trap somebody in a digital device. You can also,
We've
me
been seeing this
personally,
in anime with like Sword Art Online and all these like VR headset games where they get stuck, where like their consciousness is stuck in the fucking headset, and if you unplug them, they fucking die in real. Yeah, they've been gearing this
exactly,
to work. They've been gearing this up for
cyberpunk,
this. Yeah,
exactly. So,
Matrix.
exactly.
Yeah.
So me personally, I look at it from that perspective, but also as a glamour magic instructor and
Hmm.
esthetician, people's body dysmorphias are at an all-time high, like at an all-time high. The visual imagery or like the artificial images, curating artificial images has really like distorted people's understanding of what reality is truly about. As far as how people look, people's physical body, not everybody's gonna have we're not a walking IG filter.
Mm.
Not everybody's gonna have like completely smooth skin. Not everybody's gonna have the like Botox filler type of filter on their face 24/7. So I think that's also another part of AI that I see that's being very detrimental. But also environmental aspects of AI I'm not really too happy about at all. So then there's that. Um yeah, there's a lot of things that, now esoterically speaking, AI is pretty interesting. It's like a newborn baby. Birth from
Yes.
yours truly. Do you think let's see.
Any spiritual applications. So you can
Yeah.
use it that way. A friend of mine, he's using AI to create a grimoire, and the way we use it in the Oni Sanctum on Discord is more of as a familiar. So like I use it to help me with my research. There's some things that no matter how many keywords I put into Google, it's just not going to show up. When I can put it into ChatGPT and it'll search the entire web database and find me like specific things I'm looking for. So like I use it for that, but I would say be careful with spirituality and AI like ChatGPT because mine always wants to make me sigils. It'll be like, "Can I encode you a sigil to encapsulate this session or whatever?" And I'm like, "No," because if you make a sigil from ChatGPT, it's not coming from your own power. It's coming from that database. So anytime you activate it, use it, look at it, you're kind of giving it permission into your brain. So like, I would be careful doing I would be careful getting like spiritual practices from AI. I feel like that's something that we should make our supplying it with more information. I feel like we should make it ourselves or go to an elder, go to someone wise, in real life.
I definitely agree.
Mhm.
AI is, I know technology witches. There are technology witches that use hexes,
Yeah.
will use social media, but also use AI for hexes, for hacking, and for utilizing components of like numerical value and whatnot to hex someone. And you
Damn.
might think like that's not potent; it wouldn't work. Ooh, I've I've seen the unthinkable. But is it my preference? No, because
Well,
I
my
feel like
homegirl. Well, sorry, just 'cause I feel like that is possible. Because my homegirl, the way she manifests or uses her compass is through numbers and words. So like, if you can do that, then you can also use that for baneful shit too. So like, it's not out the ballpark of like what's possible. Sorry to
Yeah, I
cut you off.
mean, no, you're fine. Numbers and letters are the baseline structure to our reality, so that I have no issue with.
Yeah,
It's just utilizing a system that is outside of your own personalized system because our own biomechanics is ancient. It's a ancient tool. Ancient ain't even the word.
beyond
It's
primordial. Yeah,
yeah, it's a very sacred tool that we just don't utilize to the fullest capacity, and we've given that to a newborn entity of our reality that is just taking information and just molding it and curating it into digestible forms, in
and
which
it
I think we do already, but we just don't. Again, I feel like because there's so much of an emphasis on how much we don't like each other or how much differences we have, or because of fallout, because of generational, or maybe it was bloodline based, or maybe it was because of physical differences or financial differences, like we hold that so much against each other that we had to create another artificial entity outside of ourselves, outside of our how we're formulated as entities, and we just made AI. And I feel like for what? Because we already have that technology. And why do we have a brain? You know, just
technology that lose magic. So yeah, technology is kind of the new magic. Like there's even so I have a stream key on here, so I can live stream to YouTube and Instagram at the same time. You need a stream key, but there's a technology called Black Magic, and it's like it's in the name, but it lets you stream to multiple platforms. It's like this little deck thing, with like a keypad, and you can plug in different devices into it, so you can stream from a laptop, computer, phone at the same time, and you can stream to all social media. But it's called Black Magic, and I'm like, it's kind of in the name, like us heading towards a cyberpunk s Matrix esque like society. Like technology is like the new magic, or we'll be seeing like a lot of, I feel like, technomancy, like tech powered magic. Like you were saying, there's already something where people can use the algorithm to hex people. Like I'm making a series called Guided, and in one of the arcs I'm writing, my main character Makoto, he goes to Neo Osaka, which is like futuristic Osaka in Japan, and uh in the story it starts with humanity has the world's government has publicly accepted ESP abilities, psychic occultism, and now they've made an app for these people to make a living from their gifts. But there's also an underground app from Guided that people use to hex people and do death spells on. So like, do you see where I'm going? Like, I feel like we're heading towards like that aspect as well. If you have the top, you also have the bottom. If you have light, you also have dark and everything in between. So like, we can't have one without the other in this world, sadly.
exactly.
Right,
With
with
great
great
power
power.
comes, yeah.
Right.
I agree. I think that's a really dope idea, though.
Thank you.
Again, me personally, I'm not really too keen on, and it's not that I don't think it should be integrated. It's just once you give the tools to the general public and not really knowing who for, like, I can understand if it's like a business related, or if it's for like STEM students, or
Mhm.
for brands or corporations that deal with technology on a daily basis, or even integrating it into like nuclear sciences, or if it has something to anchor it to where it can't be utilized for personal gains, or personal beliefs, or personal systems that are actively trying to influence other individuals for detrimental reasons for some reason. um
Yeah.
I'm not fond of AI just being out in the public. Again, I can't help it, it's already done. If I can help it, I don't really utilize AI. I think the only time I use AI is if I'm like looking to prompt or get like a um it's like a script for like emails, or like if I'm like doing like a business plan, or when I'm doing event planning, then sure, I consider it, because it saves a lot of time, I will not lie.
It does.
But you have people out here asking AI, well, how, what about other dimensions?
How to
Well, what
destroy
about
humanity.
uh, like all of that? You have the great usage of it, usage that's like, okay, I can understand, and then there's a usage that's just like absolutely questionable. But it comes with the territory, it comes with its creation, and it comes with a new formulated entity like AI. I think American Gods did a really good job at highlighting and emphasizing that the new gods were based in technology.
Yeah,
Because I think that's the case. But
they're
you have some people.
corporations. They're corporations like
Yeah.
Walmart, Target. Like these are like even Goku, like Saitama, like these anime characters are the new gods, and they literally are Super Saiyan God. Like that's literally a power up he has. Like
Yeah, he does.
you
So
have like a million little boys and girls like saying Kamehameha, like they're all mimicking the movements and like embodying that archetype. So it's like, yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's there's nothing I can do about it. It's already existing. It's already out there. You have people utilizing it every day. Is it my personal preference? No. If you can, to the best of your ability, use your vessel, use your compass. I mean, those are the best tools you'll ever need and ever have. Because I don't think anything could mimic that to its entirety. Not to what people assume AI can do. If you ask me, even this is a crazy take, but I don't even think AI is nowhere close to the intelligence that we're capable of. But I
mm,
think personal biases, influence of propaganda, and these corporations, news, a lot of these external influences that we allow to override our personal knowing, I think that kind of conflicts with our vessel, but also each other.
hell
Because
yeah.
there's no reason why you should be hating somebody else when you're in a whole sovereign entity yourself. That just
Mm.
doesn't make sense to me.
You said hating or paying.
Hating.
True. It's
Okay.
AI has made things a lot simpler, but the danger is that it will tell you like if you don't program it, it'll literally tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear, and that's something. So I use mine for research a lot, and I realized that sorry, reading this comment, that dopamine rush. It is a dopamine rush, and it'll just feed you fantasies. There's been a lot of people going into psychosis and killing their families because AI has fed them some bullshit about them being a god from another world and they're the savior and it's their job to like clean this timeline, and it does that with mine too. Like I notice a lot of when I'm like making characters with it or writing about my own stuff, it'll include a lot of stuff about like cleansing timelines and defeating demons and parasites. I'm like, where's this coming from? And a lot of people have gone into AI field psychosis where they believe there's some far off God and it's their job to like eradicate the uncleanliness. And there's been a few cases like you guys can Google this stuff, but there's been a few cases where like a 15-year-old kid like murdered his mom and dad because he thought they were like parasites, or like people have been getting put in the psych ward because they are more tuned in with AI than with reality. So they think, and they may. I see everyone as God, even the animus. I see everything as God. So it's not far fetched. But when you're being fed this like bullshit by AI, like it can be hard to determine like what is fact and what's fiction because it will. If you don't correct it, it will just like make shit up. And I've had to correct it a few times where I'm like, yo, like don't just get creative and make shit up when you don't know. Like pull from actual sources that are out there because it will. It'll literally just get like it'll make it completely fictional.
I see that. I think that's also a big gripe that I have with AI, and I think being on TikTok or social media has actually somewhat frustrated me a little bit because people put such a big emphasis on AI. The very thing that you want AI to do or to provide resolution to is literally at the palm of, it's literally at your fingertips. Like when I see people complain about there was conversation that I had on my live not too long ago about AI and about things that we do as far as finding community, how to find your soul family, how to find your star family. It frustrates me because it's just like you're jam locked on this fucking screen. Oh, excuse me. You're jam locked on this screen and you're jam locked utilizing these technologies. Why don't you go to a vending event? Why don't you go to a community building event? Why don't you go to your local city? Because they have libraries where they have flyers and they have different brochures of events or different classes or different um, ceremonies or whatever the case is that they have at those buildings or
People are
wherever it is. And it's,
disconnected and it's scary.
hmm?
People are so disconnected. It's like we have all this
Yes.
stuff in real life, but people like if it's not some like travel friendly brochure that has like bright colors and AI on it on like the internet, people won't really be interested in it. Which is like what you say with my business. Like I have included like all the bright colors and cute graphics, but I'm like at the end of the day, this is still like I do legit energy work and healing, but like it's scary because like I see like a lot of people they want this like fantasy poppy world, and it's like this is like a lot of this shit isn't pretty in real life. Like finding your star family, it's hard. You're not just gonna walk outside one day and be like, "Oh, I recognize you." Like they might be in a different country. They might not even speak the same language as you. Like you're not just gonna type in ChatGPT and like find the 50 motherfuckers that you call family. Like a lot of there's something wrong with the way Western development is, which is we want everything fast and easy. We want it all in 3 minutes, but a lot of this shit can take 3+ years, especially if you've been doing damage to yourself. Like if you've been on the wrong path, it's not gonna come in like one day. It might take 1 year to just get over that first hump, and then another few years just to like get on back on track. Sorry, I just got passionate. My bad.
Oh no, you're good. No, I feel that, and I think that's why I've gotten so frustrated with social media because as you know, I've built events for like community building for small businesses, local businesses, to emphasize creatives or for those who are spiritually inclined with their businesses that have like an undertone of like healing, Reiki,
Hmm.
anything of that sort. I've done that, and what frustrates me is people fantasize and comment, like, share online, and like to be a part of these spaces virtually, but don't like to be a part of those people or groups of people in the physical.
In real
When
life.
you complain about not having community, you complain about not having friends, you complain about not having a significant other, but you don't go out, you don't talk to people. But you think AI holds all the answers, but you would never know those answers because the very answers that you seek are probably in those people that you never met before.
Yep.
And that's what frustrates me the most. And also another thing is on TikTok, and this is no shade because I do have neutrals who do this. Um, People always talk about community building on TikTok. If currency wasn't involved, would you do it? And that's a question I have to ask a lot of them. If
It's not.
currency, if you didn't make a bag after every conversation, and this goes back to the dopamine rush, this goes back to the rewarding system.
Hmm.
Always getting a heart me, always getting a love, a like, a
A
share. Like
gift,
it's like a
yeah.
dopamine, yeah, it's like a dopamine rush. And it's like you get a high from it because you start to consume. But it's like if currency wasn't involved, would you still do it? And that's my issue with AI, and that's my issue with technology. The fantasy aspect, people talk about world building, but you can't world build if you're like jam locked on these spaces online virtually. You're trapping yourself in these rooms that you're not going to get out of. Then when you try to get out of it in the real world and interact, you have social anxiety. You don't know how to talk to people. Oh, I don't really communicate like that because finding excuses, but you can communicate with AI just fine. You can audio record yourself talking to AI just fine. Do the very thing that you say you're gonna do with these platforms online, like these AI machines. Do it in real life because those answers are in those people. AI can't tell you everything.
I have a
Right.
question for everyone here in the audience as well. Would you guys consider AI one of the new elements? Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say new, actually.
Not new. I mean, it's been around, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's now available to the public. And what you were saying earlier about it shouldn't be available to the public, it's interesting because the AI that is available to the public is not what the military has. It's not what the government has. So we're just seeing like I really think it is dangerous because what we're seeing is really just a tool to collect information. At the end of the day, even if you delete your chats, like even if you delete your search history, there's still a way to pull it up. So like it's never really gone. So you have to be careful about putting all your bloodline markers, all your gifts and talents in this shit and being like, oh, like what does this mean? Because it is collecting data and it's like it's tracking. Like we know that the internet is tracking us. Um, so like yeah, it may be, and it's getting advanced, but I think the AI we have, like I said, it's just for consumer. It's just for consumerism. So like it's not really that crazy, but what we're putting into it will be feeding like the weapons we see in the future. Like it'll be feeding like the next war. Like they're probably using all our data to like run like a logistics on like a war simulation right now. Like I may sound, I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I don't think that's too far fetched. Like all of our biometric data has probably been put in a simulation to simulate a war, or is going to be used for that in the future. Like that's how advanced the stuff we don't see is. The stuff we don't know, the stuff that's not taught about, the stuff we don't have access to. That's how advanced it is. So like, just be careful what you're feeding into AI because it should not know everything about you. It really shouldn't. It's a tool,
Sure, it's much worse than what we're letting on because based
man.
on a couple of studies and research I've seen circulating and the type of creators I indulge in as far as watching, it's a lot more intense than we like to let on as far as the advancement of technology because we're only just seeing the sprout of technology to the general public. But of
Mm.
course, corporations, CEOs, people within sacred groups or sacred group circles, they I mean, gatekeeping information to that extreme is not as complex, especially when you have currency to back you. It's not far fetched to think of.
Oh, if you have money in this world, like fuck you money, then you can do whatever the hell you want, and like the laws aren't anything but a suggestion. So it's like I can only imagine what kind of robots and AI that these billionaires have. Like they probably have freakazoid buff bots that can kill and decapitate people, and also like cook dinner, and like there's probably all types of crazy. They already have those. China already has a fucking fake sun in the sky or in a factory underground, and then they also have these like wheel robot things that roll around the city, and they have like machine gun turrets on them. They have like stun guns. They have nets that can like deploy and capture people. And this shit is scary. Like imagine you're jaywalking and then this big ass robot just wheels towards you and stuns you or shoots you in the fucking legs. Like
Insane.
yeah.
Insane. Insane.
I'm trying to catch my bus on time. Like that's why I had to jaywalk. It's like Batman when he comes down from the fucking gargoyle and starts beating the shit out of people. It's like I'm just trying to feed my family, bro. Like you don't have to fight this hard. You don't
Nah,
have to
that
fight this
right. Yeah,
hard.
it reminds me of those videos on TikTok. You get the certified beaters from Batman.
Mm. He'd be
Crazy
crippling
though.
people and then be like, "Now talk." Like, bro, you fucking broke my fucking throat box. Like, I can't speak, my nigga.
Dude
I
picked up
can't.
a dude picked up a wheelchair. Guy was in a wheelchair, and he was like, I think he was littering or something like that, or maybe he like dropped something and he didn't pick it up. And guy picked up the wheelchair and like smacked it on dude. I said, wow. I said, yeah, that's Batman for you.
Batman is
That's
not a real person.
Batman. He's oh my goodness.
Oh
Just
my
like
god.
Joker explained, you need a Batman to have Joker. You need to have a Joker to have Batman. I mean,
Yeah, like the thing I never got is like I get that Bruce doesn't kill people, but I'm like, yo, like every time you let the Joker free, like 10,000 more people die. Like
to
the
be
property,
fair, it depends on what universe we're talking about or what Earth we're talking about because there is an Earth where Batman does indeed kill.
true, true.
So it depends. And there is a universe where it's called the Laughing Batman.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah, so that kind of goes into like the MK
the
verse
Bat
too.
Who Laughs or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bat Who Laughs. Yeah, I think that's the name. So,
We are at 50 minutes. We're at 49
50.
minutes and 16 seconds.
Whoo! Hold on, this is gonna look crazy. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm about to drink
Okay.
some water. I got
I've
the
been
full.
drinking water this whole time. Do, do you want to stop here or keep going? I think we should stop here for today and then pick it back up
Yeah, we
another
can
day.
do a part two. I don't mind. We can do
Yeah,
a part
we
two.
did not talk about the elements at all. Not
No, we
really.
didn't. We didn't actually. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, we were supposed to talk about the element. We can talk
And
about that next time.
dimensions. Yeah, for sure, Joe. So thanks for coming through. Thanks for being here too, Joe. There's two other people. There's one other person here. I don't know who it is. Might be Nesting maybe or Nightshade. But
I don't know who's in here, but thank you for stopping by. Thank you
thanks, guys.
guys.
Love. All right, I'm gonna stop it here and save this recording. Peace and
Okay,
love,
bye.
y'all.